I need to figure out how to make something that is like Keep the Meter Running, but is more scalable.
Yeah.
Where I can actually keep the meter running without breaking the bank.
With no meter.
With
Hence
no
the
meter.
Subway.
With no
$2.50 and you can
It's free,
go
baby.
over all over the city.
It's free for me.
Free. Just jump.
MTA, I hope you're not listening.
You just jump the turnstile.
I can't jump it. I take the exit door.
There you go, yeah.
You know, the fire door.
Hey, you got to hustle. Right?
Emergency door. And that is funny because I actually didn't want to make that show at all. I was like, I don't want to do another. Like, I knew it was the way, but I was also like, why am I not a movie star? Like, I did Keep the Meter on. I should be a movie star. Like,
you did it. You did the bathroom joke movie and then the cabs.
Yeah, when Steven Spielberg going to
You're moving up. You're moving up the ladder.
I was waiting for the real Martin Scorsese to call. Yeah. He didn't call. So, you know, I at the time I had been kind of dabbling in premium podcast, scripted and unscripted. And I was thinking about premium podcasting because it was like, I think it was like 2021, 2022. And there was a moment in time where like premium podcasts were the soup du jour. It was like the pivot to video. And me and my friend Andrew, who's the co-founder, co-creator of SubwayTakes, we had spent a lot of money trying to develop and produce premium podcasts. And we had done some good projects, but we'd also spent all the money.
Now, were these like one-off? Were they interview shows, or were like almost like a serial or like a storytelling sort of thing? They're all storytelling, but was it interviews or was like a mini series?
There was one interview series which I hosted, but like it was sound designed to sound like a cartoon. There was like a lot of music, there were sound effects, and the premise was that I would tell guests stories and they would keep interrupting me, and I kept trying to finish the story. But there was like all these cartoony elements to it.
Okay.
And then there was a couple of other shows that never made it to air. I think we did one project that we sold to another media company and we produced it for them. And then there was one project that we aired featuring me. And then there were like 4 or 5 projects that were in development but never made it out. We had like $10,000 left in our bank account, and we were like, let's just do the opposite of what we've been doing. Like we were making premium long form scripted, mostly podcasts. We're like, what is the exact opposite of that? And it's like, okay, the shortest podcast that has no audio version, it's only video. Let's call it a podcast, even though it's only distributed on TikTok and Instagram. And there's no long form. And it's the opposite of premium. It's super raw, super unfiltered, super uncut. And I had the idea to do a show about takes. And I was like, that's the basic idea, is like, I just ask people, what's your take? And my friend Andrew, business partner Andrew, said, what if we did it on the subway? Like, Keep the Meter Running was really successful. Maybe you'll have good luck on the subway as well. I said, you know what? We don't have money for a studio, so sounds good to me. And so we went out there and we did it. And in that first few episodes, like, I started saying 100% agree, 100% disagree, which was not a part of the plan until I did the show. I also did the MetroCard mic literally the day before we shot the first episode. Or no, the hour before. We were standing at the train station being like, what do we put the mic on? I was like, I don't want to use the tiny mic. Like, everyone's using the tiny mic. So we just threw it on the MetroCard.
I love that, because that goes back, that when you said that you used to have the cardboard mug to hide the mic, that's like the seed that plant, like that. It was like very similar to the, 5 years later.
Yeah.
Because you had the MetroCard mics.
I never thought that. But thank you for noticing something about my story.
My contribution for the day. There we go.
Yeah, but there was so much magic that occurred on that first day. And I'm going to release a trailer for SubwayTakes, which I don't advise. And I don't think they work. I think a trailer is a stupid idea. It's a waste of time. But I was like, again, I'm going to do everything the opposite of what I would do. Because we were releasing trailer.
You pulled the George Costanza. Just do the opposite.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
I did the opposite, and then the trailer got 1 million views, and I was like, "Oh my god, what is happening?" And then the first episode, it took a while. It took I remember me and Andrew were texting. We were like, "Well, didn't work. Time to close the doors. Like, we failed." And then it got like 400,000 views after like 3 days, and then I posted the second episode. Again and again and again, and it kept going, and I was like, all right, we got a hit. And I just have never felt so lucky to have 2 back-to-back like massive hits. It's hard to replicate success. Sophomore slump, as they call it. So I didn't have the sophomore slump, but I may have a junior slump if I decide to launch a new show.
Hey, you gotta give it a shot.
Yeah.
I love this story because people might be like, oh, this guy he had a great idea, like go interview people on the subway. But I love how it was the product of trying all these other things and going from the super high to not low, but super high production to like, let's just put a mic on the subway, jump the turnstile, go through the exit door and go. I love it. It's like, it looks like an overnight success, but you spent 5 years making the steps to get to this spot.
And also, like, I remember I bought the cameras and I was like, I bought them on a credit card, $14,000 for both the cameras. And I was like, I put it on a credit card and I felt so bad because I was like, oh, like, what if I don't use them? And then I was like, you know what? I can sell them or I'll return them or whatever. And without those cameras, I don't think I would have done SubwayTakes. I had bought those cameras to keep the meter running. And because I had the equipment, because I bet on myself, again, because I invested in myself, because I was my own rich parent and could at least put them on a credit card, knowing that it wouldn't be the end of it. At least I had credit.
Yeah.
Knowing that I had credit. That I was able to, make that show without having to like have the hassle and headache of like renting equipment or asking people to borrow their equipment. Like I was just like, I'll take these cameras that I've bought and put them to good use. And honestly, that's a huge thing because we may have not had enough money to do that, but I had the cameras. So that's another big part of it is like I had bet on myself so many times that I accumulated so much junk that was useful. Junk knowledge, junk information, junk intangibles. Like that's a lot of stuff too, is the intangibles. Like saying 100% agree or 100% disagree was not a part of the plan. It is just what came out of me. And so when I talk to other creators or aspiring creators or people who want to be media entrepreneurs, I encourage them to stop overthinking, to develop the idea 80% of the way, and to let the actual magic happen in the shoot. Because you're going to discover a lot of new things while you're shooting. And that's good. Like keep the meter running. Same thing with the food. I didn't think it was going to be a food show. All of a sudden it became a food show because the drivers let it be a food show, And that is something that I think a lot of people struggle with is like not taking the first step. And I'm like, you don't have to have 100% baked idea. You have to have like a good premise and maybe 80% of an idea to make it great.